today, and I think this is something that we all kind of struggle with sometimes. And I'm just going to ask a question. How many of you go around in your everyday life and sometimes you feel like, man, what's my purpose? You know what I mean? You're just like, why am I here? Why is everyone here? Why are things that way? And I think that's really hard to comprehend, but we can give examples of that in the Bible. So I'm going to have someone look up Jeremiah 29:11.
You remember it off the head.
And then someone hit Isaiah 43:7. And then 1 Corinthians 7:7.
Sammy, isn't that your favorite verse?
It's not my favorite, but I know.
Did you guys get that? Go ahead.
It's like every girl's cliche verse, though. Yeah. Well, it's not for girls.
I love that verse. 43:7. Sam, you got Jeremiah 29:11. You ready for that?
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future.
Alright. Isaiah 43:7. Everyone who belongs to me, whom I created for my glory, when I formed, yes, whom I made.
And 1 Corinthians 7:17. Nevertheless, each person should live as a believer in whatever situation the Lord has assigned to them, just as God has called them. This is the rule I lay down in all the churches.
Yeah, so guys, those verses, I mean, pretty much they have a similar theme. It's that we were made by God. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an AP Environmental Science. I don't like it. I read all these textbook, readings, and all of it says, and this system does this and this. And as we get into more complex things, it just makes less and less sense. And I just want to tell the teacher, but obviously I can't, because I don't know what he believes in or anything, but there's no way all that stuff is just random. Man, we have a creator. I mean, that's something that's awesome to think about. When you think about it, we are not insignificant. And that's really sometimes, like, even not, whoever you are, you might walk around and you're like, man, there's 3,000 kids on campus. Who am I? There's 7 billion people in the world. Who am I? And sometimes you got to step back and realize, hey, God made you. God made Brian Hoffman. God made Devin Campbell. God definitely made Mitchell Anderson. And we're all created for what's up, Maleska? God made Nick Maleska. We're all made for a certain purpose. Nobody's the same. None of us have the same fingerprint. None of us have the same personalities. I mean, some of the football guys were talking about this at team dinner. Some people are type A, some people are type B. We're all made differently, different personalities. And last year, I remember, for those of you who went here last year, you guys, some of you might know him anyway, Jonathan Laura. Yes. He's going to West Point. One of the best guys you'll ever meet. We're having FCA second semester at Brian Hodges' house. The guy walks in, it's his lesson plan, he goes, I didn't really know what to do, so I found this pebble. And this guy's crazy. He walks in with the pebble and he goes, now they tarred over, so there's no pebbles. They tarred over the parking lot. This back one was gravel. He goes, I found this pebble in the parking lot. That pebble was put in that parking lot for a reason. There's like probably 900 million pebbles in that parking lot. This is such a Jonathan Laura thing to do, too. But I just remember leaving, and he related it, and he said, this pebble represents one of us. And his message was a little different. It's like when it gets out of the parking lot, that's like us straying off our path, and that's not where we belong. But still, that pebble was put there for a reason. Maybe it was to prevent one of us popping our tires, I don't know. But it's 1 in a million. But somebody made that pebble. And another example of finding our purpose is our purpose really in life. I mean, you might think it's easy to get mixed up with man-made things like, you might think your purpose is to be a baseball player, or football player, or whatever. That's all good. That's all good and fun. But that stuff's all great if you can relate it to your greatest purpose, your greater purpose, and that's us as a whole Christian religion. And that our purpose is to show God's will. Our purpose is to shine a light for the world, help those people in need, and show what Jesus Christ has to offer. And I really kind of saw this past Wednesday. Me, Devin, and Mitchell, we're in PALS, and so is Giovanna and Delia here. And we went to Carpenter. Oh, and All right. Sorry. Anyway, so we're at Carpenter, and I'm thinking, man, I kind of wish I could be at lunch right now because we got to go through our lunch. And my little kid walks in. He's in 6th grade. I mean, he's probably 5 feet tall. I start talking to him, and I just see this different look in his face. He just seems so happy than when he did when he walked in. And I left, and I say, man, there's something working here. And maybe my purpose for him could be, provide a role model, or maybe change his life. I mean, think about that. We have the ability every day, through God's purpose for us, to change the world. And we can do that. The world, anything with God is possible. I mean, you read all the parables, all the miracles. It's kind of hard to relate sometimes because it was so long ago, but it's the truth. Our purpose is to shine for God. We have the ability to do that. All we have to do is live by example. Live with a happy look on your face. It kind of goes back to the lesson last week about how we can, get guys to come to FCA or get God in their life. If you're a guy that lives happily, doing the right thing, people are going to look up to you. And, so when you ever struggle and you don't really know what your purpose is, just know that God made you. And our purpose is to shine for Him. So that's all I really got to say today. I think that's something that we often forget and that we need to remember every day. So that's what I got.